What's going on, everybody? My character just sitting here at the bar, grabbing a drink, although I haven't really stocked it with bottles and glasses yet. Anyway, just chilling here, waiting on you guys. Now that you're here, I guess we can head out, go do some exploring. We have to go find the rest of these points of interest, or caches, or whatever DiMA's left behind. We uncovered some of these when we sifted through his memories. Those were some really cool puzzles that we got to solve, too, to unlock all those things. Apparently, we didn't really need to unlock all of them. I think the main one of interest is the nuclear launch codes, and we'll get to those. But this one right here is supposed to be his deep, dark, dirty secret. Whatever he did to the children of Far Harbor... I say children of Far Harbor. I guess I'm thinking children of Adam. But whatever he did to the people of Far Harbor that might cause them to react with some hostility, it's apparently buried beneath the Vim Pop Factory, which would be like, I guess, like a Nuka-Cola plant, their version of it here. I guess Vim is kind of like Fallout's Pepsi to our Coke, so to speak. I guess Nuka-Cola would be like Coca-Cola type of thing. And so their answer to that, their alternative, I guess, would be Vim. I don't know. Or Mountain Dew or something. Who knows? But if it's a factory, I want to go explore it anyway, to be honest. I really like the way they've done the places where you can explore here. I mean, I really, really do. It's been exceptional in this DLC throughout. I've enjoyed every location. It's random, it's varied, it fits the atmosphere of this entire island in general. I'm kind of curious once we put a, I guess you could say, an end to the conflict. However we choose to do that, right? I'm hoping that it makes some difference on the island. I'm kind of curious what changes outside of, you know, picking one side or the other, but like, will it make some difference in the environment? I personally am now set on eradicating the children of Adam. I've given all my reasons for doing so. I think they're all solid. I don't see any holes in my logic or my theories, personally. Trying to actually go on to take the decision seriously, especially once discussion came up about it, bringing thoughts and motives and agendas into question. It was like, okay, well, you know, gives one cause to take a second look at it and say, okay, well, you know, am I really just do I really just have some kind of bias or prejudice here? Although personally, I kind of remember with some fondness the children of Adam, you know, worshiping the little bomb in the middle of Megaton and stuff. But I also remember in the Broken Steel DLC, the children of Adam weren't so, I guess you could say, innocent. They weren't all just, you know, peace, love, tie-dye, we'll just sit over here and worship the glow and, you know, we don't mean anybody any harm type thing. No, there was an agenda. There was a thought. There was it was definitely a plan or a motive to all that. The end that they saw essentially for everybody was for I guess, to somehow finish off what the bomb started in the nuclear war. Like I say, if something just terrifies you and you can't explain it or wrap your mind around it, some people, I guess, might just get broken and embrace it. And then others might use it as an opportunity to exercise what's already part of their nature, which could be something sinister, something murderous, sociopathic, psychopathic, whatever. We see a lot of that in religion, too, of all the religions, you know, and then people make the mistake of labeling a religion. In fact, I was actually basically accused of that. Now you're labeling the beliefs based on the actions of a few. And I was like, actually I'm not, but I can see why it may sound that way, so that's fine. So let's dig a little deeper. Let's talk a little bit more, you know, in a broad spectrum and cover all the bases, and then say whether or not we've made a justifiable, judgment here. Not to overuse the word judgment, but let's see if we're, you know, actually made a rational decision concerning the fate of these people here, because it's kind of been put on our plate set in front of us. Okay, you need to decide the fate of, well, essentially everybody here, type of thing. And it's a conflict that they're not going to solve. I will note that the one outspoken voice, which seems to, what would you say, tone down or hush everyone else's voice back amongst the people in Far Harbor, is one of peace, 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 when there is none. When war is declared, that's not time for peace, or you die. That's time to fight for your freedoms, or you're going to lose them. And Captain Avery, as well-meaning as she may appear to be in modern political view, well, modern politics is doing nothing but finishing off, this hell of a train ride we're going on, going off this cliff. We run out of track. Okay, so political friendly peace speak is nothing but just a bag of empty wind, and, well, just going to essentially destroy us faster. False peace is not peace. So Captain Avery's voice, her interesting. She seems to be stuck on, well, let's not provoke the children of Adam and they'll just stop being bad guys. That kind of thinking has not gotten us anywhere in the real world today, and it's not going to get us anywhere in this game. Their open declaration of war, whether passively aggressive or just outright aggressive, regardless, doesn't matter. That they've made their thoughts and intentions and motives clear. So, anyway. Be curious to find out here what DiMA is hiding. What did he do? What did he do in secret to the children of Far Harbor that they apparently aren't aware of? There is some suspicion of the synths in general amongst the population in Far Harbor because, to be honest, the synths are an unknown quantity, to be fair, and also it's reasonable for a society whose lives are already at stake. They're already jeopardized, right? It's reasonable that they be not just suspicious, but on their guard and even defensive against any and all things that might, might present some kind of threat. In the sense, well, if they're a tool of the Institute and you don't know what part is goodwill and what part is programming, true enough, they are persons essentially misplaced in a mechanical body. But what part of that is just straight up programming? What part of that, of their personality is interfered with by, stuff already set on computer chips and stuff like that? They can't know that. So is it a reasonable suspicion? And I guess you could say fear. Yeah, they're dying, Yeah, everything seems to be a threat. Anything and everything is pushing them off the island, and unknown quantities, well, until they're known, yeah, you're supposed to treat them with some suspicion for your own self-preservation. No, see, they're supposed to treat everyone fair at the risk and cost of their own lives. That's how we do it now in a politically correct society. Okay, but in the real world, you do all that with that kind of naivety, and the bad guys will run your ass over, will blow you up. Okay? So, yeah, best to not take everything with a grain of salt. To treat everything with a bit of suspicion, especially in a hostile environment like this, would make perfect common sense. Doesn't make you any kind of ist. It makes you reasonable. It shows that you have at least some kind of common sense in the face of a common threat. Right? This should just be logical, but it seems like the fact that this need to be said is very, very troubling in a quote-unquote modern society. Become much too lax, much too resting on our laurels, taking for granted things which were earned and paid for at great price. Well, we've disregarded all that. We seem to just take it for granted. We're spoiled. I really, to be honest. I've heard that before and didn't personally actually really know all what that means. I have to think some of these things coming up in these games, to be honest, along with things that we see in the news and hear about, and so on and so forth, current events and stuff that really bring some of this to light and cause one to step back and take a pause and reevaluate, Anyway.
Gotta come out sooner or later.
Sooner or later. Voice actor for the Super Mutants is just friggin' amazing.
That's
it. Sooner or later. Stop hiding. I'm gonna look around. Look at this place. This is how I remembered Fallout 3 being. Like, I don't know. Now maybe I'm just looking through jaded glasses or something. Factory floor. I don't know if I want to leave here yet. I want to look around a bit. But it seems to me that many of the locations in the Commonwealth are the only thing that might signify that there was even a nuclear war is just a little paint chipping off the walls in a lot of those places. And true enough, even when the walls are locked down, it just looks so lit up and almost cheery. And I'm not trying to be depressing, right? But I'm just saying this is post-nuclear. I think they captured it perfectly in Fallout 3. I really do. It may be my one single favorite thing about Fallout 3 is, given what they had to work with last-gen stuff, they did an amazing job of putting together a rich, living, breathing world, even if it was mostly dead, you know? But, I mean, the collapsed buildings and destroyed icons of a past civilization, all the historical monuments and buildings and things, and seeing them post-nuclear, and how it seemed like they put love and passion and care and attention to detail and almost artistry into every brick and pebble that they knocked over in Fallout 3, you know? New Vegas, on the other hand, was just empty. It was just friggin' desert, you know? That's how it felt. I felt like, wow, this is 90% desert and 10% something to do and a whole lot of walking in between things to do type of thing. And I don't even know why I'm doing half the shit in the first place type of stuff. Although, in hindsight, I think I don't give maybe New Vegas quite as much credit as maybe I should. It really had some cool stuff to it. I mean, I think on one hand almost as popular as Fallout 3, honestly. Although some people played New Vegas first. I think some people just kind of got hip to the whole Fallout thing late. And then maybe going back with Fallout 3, oh, you can't aim down the sights, this game sucks. I think there was a lot of that too, you know. But in this one, in the primary game, I feel like it's bright and cheery. More than it should be. I mean, okay, hope for the future. If that's the message here, then work that more into the story to where the environment kind of makes sense and goes along with the vibe I feel like I should be getting. Because I think I was spoiled with the attention to detail that was in Fallout 3. And here, it's like, apparently they did put some attention into, I mean, look, the broken glass and the windows here in these offices. You know, this is amazing. I didn't get this in the main game. Once again, Automatron and this one right here, Far Harbor, have been, man, as far as DLCs go, I've been more than happy.
That's it.
Totally feel like it's worth it. I've really enjoyed them. If nothing else, just the exploring aspect. Not to mention the fact that there was a really cool stories involved. There was a reason I was doing what I was doing. Now, you know, when you put it in light of the main story, you know, my character here still hasn't really pursued finding her son, her baby. And so, like, yeah, all of it, you know, if I put it in that light, I have to ignore the main story to make the game good. And that's sad. That's sad. So I'm gonna draw a big thick line between the main game and these DLCs. It doesn't feel like the same development team did these DLCs that did the main game. I'm like, did they go rehire some of the people that they lost from Fallout 3 and bring them in to work on these DLCs? Because where the hell were they in the main game? Like, how did some of this shit get past the drawing board in the main game? You know, okay, I'll stop right here. I'm not going to get off into a rant on, you know, what Fallout 4 is like. Fuck it. There's been plenty of bitching sessions about that. So let's just say, where were these people then that are here now? Because these DLCs, I think, are amazing. Exploring here, This is dark. A few lights are still working. Outside of that, it's dark, dreary. This place was blown the hell up. This place has a history. It has a story of its own, which I can probably uncover in depth if I were to read every single computer in here. And I could probably spend half a day in this building looking at every corner, looking at everything, right? And make that a game session or game experience in and of itself. And I remember that from Fallout 3 too. Like each place, it within the walls of each maybe building was almost a little mini game. It was almost a little mini experience in and of itself. There was a story, the way things were laid out, the little hints and conversations you would drop in on between people on their computers, the few computers that were left behind and stuff. That's kind of their MO. That's what they did, and it's like they tried to do it in the main game, and it doesn't really work. Like, you can go to, I don't know, Robco facility or the Mass Fusion building and stuff, and you can read of, notes between people, inter-office arguments, relationships gone bad, somebody catches their wife cheating, or, stuff like this going on with people in there, but it almost felt forced. It felt like it was placed there as an afterthought type of thing, but I didn't feel the fluid, the whole spirit of just the entire story and the entire environment all put together in one big picture. I just kept feel like I was knocked out of that, right? But not here. Like, these DLCs, like, I'm enjoying the shit out of this. I almost treat like this right here, this Vim Pop Factory, almost like, say, the what was it, the Science and Technology building or whatever that place was called, where you had to go for the satellite dish for Three Dog to fix the radio station. You remember that? That was like a quest in and of itself. That was almost a game in and of itself. That was like this epic thing you did, But we weren't knights in shining armor going out being all chivalrous and shit for the round table. No, we were the Wasteland Wanderer going out there for Three Dog to redeem the voice of freedom in the capital wasteland and all this. And even if it was a little bit of cheese, it was awesome cheese. Cheese is a good thing sometimes. Cheese is no good on your ice cream, but it's great on a cheeseburger, right? So when put in the right place, it's amazing. And I get that here. I'm getting that with these DLCs. So, honestly, these DLCs so far have kind of redeemed the game. Somebody made a joke. They made a hashtag on one of the streams, "Make Fallout Great Again," right? It's kind of like that. That's kind of what I'm getting here. So, a lot more good than bad. Anyway, so this factory was really cool. I just love the atmosphere. If nothing else, just the visuals are they kind of make it what it is. Now, I am kind of just looking around also, but I am trying to eventually get to whatever we're looking for here. Something is buried. I think the wording specifically was underneath the Vim Pop Factory, so I guess we're in a roundabout way working our way downstairs. This is a pretty intricate map here. There we go. Let's just come through and assassinate these super mutants. Real quick and quiet like. Vim Ambassador Program. Wait for guests to finish arriving from the bottling center before... Vim Ambassador with power armor. Not sure what that's about. I have no real interest in power armor. My interest is uncovering DiMA's dirty dark secret here. I have a feeling this can get real dangerous real quick, though. It also helps a lot that I can't really see anything. It adds to the whole sneak through this place thing. Yeah, the whole darkness and the lighting thing here is just, I mean, look at this. I couldn't picture this any better. See a Protectron there. Looks like. Okay, I'm kind of sort of not sure where I'm supposed to be going. Oh, shit. See ya. Legendary Primus. Not sure what makes Primus different than, say, an Overlord or a Master or whatever, but, oh, man. If that had been a mighty 10mm pistol. Mighty or instigating? Both would work amazing with this. Instigating... Well, you know, I'm not really worried about OP with this. Although I did kind of change out the deliverer for this gun. So this gun is a bit weaker. It's just its base damage is just simply lower. Honestly, this gun even with a mighty legendary buff to it would still not be as strong as the deliverer, I don't think. It would be more like... The deliverer's more like an instigating 10mm all the time. What do we got? What's this? What is this, a sauna? You serious? The super mutants are using the vats as a sauna? Oh, that is freaking awesome. Got another legendary Primus. Shit, I gotta remember where he's at. I want his stuff.
You're here! You're here!
You're here! Stop hiding! Oh, no. Wow. Okay, I just let him walk up on me, didn't I?
Hey, you disappear!
That never gets old.
No fair!
That never gets old. Warlord, huh? Wait a minute, is that new? Oh, I'm just wasting ammo now.
Gotta come out sooner or later.
Well, like my sneak is so high that this super mutant is essentially targeting, but doesn't know that he should be targeting me, type of thing.
Human. Got a treat for you.
I don't even have the last upgrade where you can essentially make them lose track of you by going into sneak from a distance, something like that. Yeah, I don't even have that. I'm not picking that because that sounds a lot like the perk in Skyrim where you can essentially make someone stop targeting you just by crouching.
I can smell you out there,
That
little sneak.
I don't know if you'd go so far as to say game breaking, but just no. All right, I gotta look here. Let's find this one super mutant. I can't believe they use this place as sauna. You remember the hot pools in Skyrim where you go by and you'd see these hunters just chilling, just laying there? And if you looked at them, they'd be like, what? I mean, seriously, some privacy, please? You know, that was awesome. So this is cool. Super mutants using these things as hot tubs. That is, yeah. Now see, that's the type of stuff that you put in a Fallout game. That's what I'm talking about. To give you a laugh every once in a while. There it is. Unyielding. I would take an unyielding leather. I'd love an unyielding leather arm piece. Although I don't know if they come as arm pieces. I'm not sure. I'm guessing any piece could have any legendary stat or buff on it. I think the only limitations are certain upgrades, mods. Like there are mods you can put on arms that you can't put on legs and vice versa. Like they think the, what is it, the sleek mod that allows you to move faster when you're sneaking. I think that's just for the legs. Like you could only stack that perk twice on your armor, for example, assuming it even stacks. You might be able to put it on chest piece, mate, but I don't think so. I think it's just legs. All right, so I'm assuming we're supposed to go down here.
Going up.
Dogmeat is finally learning to jump in elevators with me. He's getting tired of being left behind. My little dude, man.
Ground floor.
Best dog ever. Okay, so what do we got here? What's this? Avery's skull? Avery's luck? Okay, let me see. Is this what I think it is?
Is it going to be painful?
Yes. It's going to be like having everything you are ripped out and replaced with something else. Someone else.
I'm ready. I wish I could say goodbye to everyone.
No one else can know. This isn't just about infiltrating Far Harbor. It's about becoming the human that synths drawn here need to meet. Reasonable. Willing to accept them as just another living thing.
Signs
No
of
greater
life detected.
or lesser than
Scanning.
humanity itself.
If
You'll
you need
be part of
assistance,
the bridge
please
between
approach
our
the
two
intercom.
worlds. That all vanishes the moment anyone discovers that it's been manufactured. That you're a synth.
Ah.
Did she have to die? The woman I'm replacing? God, she looks so peaceful lying there.
Don't. Please. That blood is on my hands, not yours.
Yeah, he's right to think the people of Far Harbor would have some issue with that. Okay, I see. All right, so no wonder Avery is the voice of politically correct, overly peaceful, stupid, idiotic, lack of any kind of common sense or reason, jeopardizing the entire Far Harbor by her existence, voice of quote-unquote reason. Yeah, all right. So she... Okay, I get it. DiMA...
Rescanning.
Yeah, hold
User
on.
isn't approved to enter the medical containment area. Can't
Wow.
say I mind the company, though. It's been a while.
I don't think any approved user is gonna show up. You can either let me in, or you can keep waiting for eternity. Your choice.
You realize I'm a computer. I can wait a long, long time.
Really?
My biometric scanners have been calibrated only to approve something called a prototype synth.
Bring Nick Valentine? So, regardless, this is where...
User is not approved to enter the medical containment area. Sorry, nothing I can do about that.
Yeah, screw you too, buddy. All right, so this is where DiMA turned Avery, or kidnapped Avery, and turned her into a synth. She went back and took charge of Far Harbor and made sure that they don't instigate anything, cause any problems, that they just stay peaceful, so on and so forth, and whatever, while they're just steadily just getting run over. Had we not showed up when we showed up, her voice of reason would have finally got them completely eradicated. That's DiMA, so he... Well, it doesn't sound like he necessarily kidnapped somebody. He found somebody sympathetic to the synths and somebody willing to actually be a martyr for the cause. But he still murdered a person and did exactly what the Institute does so he could manipulate the politics in Far Harbor. Just like the Institute would like to manipulate things by planting their synths in place of real people in certain key places on the surface. But him being a synth, and that being part of maybe his programming, I wonder if whoever or whatever DiMA was before becoming DiMA the synth was maybe an Institute scientist or something, so already predisposed to that type of thing. At least something's to be said that he felt bad about it, right? But the fact, in this case, the fact that he hid the murder does not excuse that the fact that he is the type of person that would do it, memory or no. You can blot what you've done out of your memory, but it doesn't change the fact that you are the doer of that. You are the type of person that would do that. Kidnapping or seduction and then murder, you know, that the victim was willing, apparently, is one thing, but for the whole purpose of manipulating that society in Far Harbor, and by extension, whether this was his motive or not, the result is that, well, a lot of people died in Far Harbor rather than doing what Alan said. See, now we find that Alan, gruff Alan, who appeared to be just the, you know, stubborn, obstinate asshole when we show up, was the only voice of reason actually left in Far Harbor, and Avery's voice is the one that always shouted him down, essentially, with her calm voice of reason and all this and that. No, you see, you've already caused enough problems already. That one representative that came here, I should hang you for what you did. That was her words when we showed up. What was he going to do? Do something. I guess shoot that child of Adam in the face for threatening A, the last surviving colony on the island, and B, for coming in and laughing at their face and the fact that their family had just been torn to shreds right in front of them, and they were the last few survivors, and they were going to die too by the will of the atom that this person serves. Well, if you let those words come out of your mouth in the face of the atrocities that I've just recently experienced, and you come up into town spouting that bullshit, that jihadist shit, I don't care if you're strapped down with explosives or not, probably get a gun to the face. You need to. Spouting that shit. You're not human. Wow, I mean, that's crazy. So, I get it. So it brings a lot of clarity to what we saw and why we saw it when we first show up in Far Harbor, and what's going down and why Avery is the way she is. It's interesting. Now, DiMA needs to be accountable for what he is. Murderer. Whatever ideologies he uses an excuse to do that, there's no justice there. He was manipulating the politics there to keep peace with someone who should not be kept peace with, among other things. And also to find someone sympathetic to synths. Okay, well, that needs to be part of your nature. You know, if you could reprogram people to not be racist or to not be ist based on what you think ist is, you'd have a real fucked up world. It's one thing that we already elect people with no common sense to do what they do. It'd be another thing if you could actually physically program people to think the way you want them to think until your mood changes. Then you'd have to go reprogram them to think a different way. No, you know what I was thinking was right today is wrong tomorrow. And as people change with the wind, you got to go back and constantly reprogram people. There's no person that has the wisdom or anything else, the capacity to make those kinds of decisions for anyone else. A large percentage of us are wrong a large percentage of the time, and way too proud to admit it. And that is our fault, because with that, you can't really ever be corrected. Right? I speak for myself, too. So, yeah, there's definitely an issue there. Anyway, the bottom line is he killed somebody to replace them with a synth doing the work like the Institute. They're all guilty of murder, too, as far as that goes. That Avery still at least lives on to some extent is fine, but, well, she's somewhat accountable for her voice, too, although that's essentially what she's programmed to be. I guess DiMA picked and chose which parts of her memory would be most sympathetic to his personal agenda, whatever it was at the time, and then he eradicated a lot of his memories too back then. So, wow. Here, I've got an agenda. Now let me trash my agenda after I program somebody to follow my agenda. Anyway, doesn't really matter now, but he's going to have to answer for that personally. Thing is I can just imagine how Far Harbor is going to react to synths in general when all their fears are realized. Whether they're being realized or not, they're certainly going to think that way. You would think, right? So, I'm not sure what options are going to be available here. I'm guessing we need to go get those launch codes. They need to be in our hands, first and foremost. So that'll be the next thing. But now we've uncovered the reason DiMA, at least in his memories, was concerned that, well, that these memories should never be uncovered. I guess maybe if he could remember what he had intentionally forgot, maybe he wouldn't have sent us to find these memories in the first place, you think? Maybe? Or I don't know. Maybe there's some part of him that still has enough humanity and enough conscience to know that the right thing to do is answer for what he's done. But that in and of itself, you know, that crime of murder, well, he needs to atone for that. Be accountable for that. That's part. Once again, that's part of his nature. That's not just a simple memory or a simple action. The capacity to do that says something of his character, synth or not. If he really is human, and he just happens to be a synthetic human, but he still is a person, well, then he's just as accountable as a person. And if he's not a person, then there's no point. There's no problem with eradicating him. Just, you know, taking him out anyway, right? But if he is a person, then he needs to be accountable just like a person. So either way, he's got to answer for that. So I'm perfectly comfortable with that. I just hope it's an option. The ideal thing here would be for DiMA to answer for his stuff.
Yes.
Hopefully without the people in Far Harbor just going ballistic and taking it out on everybody on the island. I truly believe that in this case, this is where the other synths there in Acadia have nothing to do with this. DiMA hid this even from himself, not to mention everyone else. So only have to assume that besides Avery, assuming even she was allowed to remember. I don't know if she's programmed to remember or not. I guess maybe we'll find out. But whatever is, in this case, the sense there, and you can tell if you go to Acadia, they just want to be left alone. Like, it'd be nice to just find a place where people just accept me for what it is so I can just go on, because I have feelings and thoughts and dreams and imaginations and hopes too. And if you have all that, well, you're a person. Okay, well, you have a right to exercise that by living. You know, as long as you're not trying to deprive someone else of their right to live freely as you wish to, then get along, you know, type of thing, and hopefully get that from the next guy. That's what we strive for. So I'm down with that. But DiMA, nah, he chose to do it through murder and manipulation. There's a difference there. He knows it. He knows it. And he left that in his memory to try to, you know, I guess wash the blood from his hands. You can't wash your hands from this dude. Okay, now I have a choice to make. I'm not obviously going to go shut off the power to Far Harbor, but let's see. I do need to confront I want to get the launch codes first, though. So I think, I would love to go back and get some rest and get a save point. Hopefully I can find a save point between here and the hotel, but that's supposedly where the launch codes are. And so I guess I'm going to head there, and I'll meet you guys there on the next one. All right? Y'all take care. Thanks for watching. Listen to me babble. Been awesome. If you want to subscribe, click the button up top. If you want to catch the rest of the Fallout 4 playthrough, you can click that image in the middle. It should send you straight to the playlist. I'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye.